Hi, it's Facelesstech Repairs. Today we're going to tackle an omission that Nintendo really should have done originally. Was instead of having green LEDs on the joycons, they should have had matching LEDs to match the colour. I previously changed my red ones to red, and I thought I'd just do a video on changing the side. I'm not going to tell you how to take the joycon apart because my god, it is a pain in the ass, and it's different for either side, which is quite confusing. But I'm just going to show you a few tips, like with this. Like, you could look online to find out the polarity of these LEDs, but if you come to a board and you don't know the polarity and there's no online documentation, or you can't be arsed looking it up, you can just get your multimeter in continuity mode, and you can just buzz the side of the LED, and you'll see it'll light up. Then obviously the top there is positive and the other side is negative. Always check all the LEDs because they might not be all in the same orientation. It depends how the board has been laid out. But lucky for us, it's all the same, because sometimes to make it easier to wire up the board, they might have changed the orientation of it. We're going to be using a fine tip soldering iron. I'm not sure what's, it's quite fine. And then to basically get these LEDs off, we're just going to swamp the area with solder, basically connect either side all around with solder, and then we'll just slide it off. We're not going to save these LEDs, that's practically impossible. But yeah, here we go, let's get these off. And if you look, you just swamp the area. And there it is, it's gone. It just goes into our cleaning bin. So yeah, get these off. Right, it's done. There was little contacts next to the LED pads. Make sure they're not bridged. I'm not sure if they're just test. They must just be test pads. Obviously you don't want to bridge them. You want to get your blue 0603 LEDs. From what I've seen, most controllers and stuff these days use 0603 LEDs. So depending on which LEDs you've got, because there was a few different markings they use to do the polarity, so I'm not really going to cover that here. If you look it up online, I think there's about 3. So you basically want to get, remember your ribbon is the positive end, that end, because I did actually yesterday, embarrassingly, soldered all my LEDs on wrong, and then I was like, wait a minute, why doesn't it work? It's like, oh, yes. So yeah, what I normally do is a solder one side, get it in place with your tweezers, solder one side, and then flip it on the other side and solder it. And there you go, really. They don't have to be super straight because they're going through light pipes. So that kind of gives it a little bit more forgiving. I was doing like a PS3 controller the other day, and that was, for whatever reason, they'd used the pads they'd used were like small pads. So like basically, like, these are quite good because there's a bit of solder either side of the pad. Oh god, it's not put down right. So it kind of it's hard to get in. You just literally want to touch, just to make sure, and then just keep going, really. Just keep on going. These upside down. God, these are really small. I'd hate to solder it smaller than this, really. The 603 is quite. And normally, for a project, I'll use
I've made myself, I use 1206 because, oh god, he's gone everywhere. Look at that one. He's trying to escape. Looks like I've soldered one pad wrong. There you go. Solder the other side. Last one now. They are like super cheap as well, these LEDs. I think I ordered 100 blue for about 60p, which is cheap. You can buy them in packs. I bought these in a 5-pack of green, blue, yellow, white. The colours, and then you can just pick and choose. But yeah, we've got blue ones on here, so I'll just stick it all back together and we'll have a look. So before you do button it back up, you might want to just give it a little clean, a bit of the flux off it, and also go over the LEDs with your multimeter leads just to check that you got the orientation right. I should have done that yesterday. I would have saved you a lot of time. Yeah, so I will get fixed up now, put it all back together, and let's see how it works out. So there we go. I had an actual heart attack while I was putting it back together because the ribbon cable that connects the board that I was working on, the connector is really weird. It has to be inserted further than you think before it'll latch, and it won't latch unless the cable's in, like the cable is part of the latching. So when I was trying it was not working, and I had to go and have a little cry, and then I found a Reddit thread that did point me in the right direction, so I'll put that in the description as well if anyone else is having trouble with it. But here we go. Look at that, they actually match. You could be really ironic and you could swap them. It could be completely different, so the red's on this side and the blues on that side. But yeah, for now this is Nintendo. This is how it should have been. It should have been like this. And you could do also with if you've got like the Splatoon one with the green, it's the green sided one. You could put like more of a what are they called? Like a emerald type colour green. It's just like more of a popping green rather than it's quite a soft green, isn't it? But yeah, so yeah, that is enough of me rambling, and yeah, see you next time.